Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel Eddie in Reading Land. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you a tag, the end of year tag by Chanel Days. Okay guys, like I said in the introduction, I am going to do a tag and it is by Chanel. I don't know why I mispronounced her name the last time that I made a tag from her, but I should know better. It's a fashion brand that I actually like. But let's get started. The first prompt says, deck you loved using the most this year. That was incredibly easy for me to choose because it was the Spirit Keeper's Tarot by Benebell. And you guys know that I admire and I really like this deck from Benebell. I had a blast using it this year. It will show up again on a later prompt, so I'm going to show more of it while I'm talking about that. But here are some of the images for now. I've talked about this deck. I have a review of this deck and the book of maps that comes with this deck on my channel. I very much enjoyed working with this, so much so that I actually worked with this deck for 2 different seasons. And I usually don't do that. I usually just use the decks that I use for that specific season, and then I choose 4 different other decks for the next one. But I was having such a blast working with this deck that I just carried it on to the next season. So here's the beautiful strength card, which is called the Force in this deck. But I will show this deck a little bit later on another prompt. So moving on, it says prompt number 2, most recent addition to my collection. So that would be the Conjunction Tarot by Miss Ina Outdid. And here's the beautiful box. And I am actually currently using this for Yule this season. I was going to wait until next year, but I couldn't wait. And I am using it right now. Actually, the first card that I got from this deck was this one, the 3 of Swords. And I was so happy that I got it because I can read this as a numerological 3 of Swords. So I was ecstatic that I got the 3 of Swords. And I know that it wasn't meant to be that way. I already read the guidebook, by the way, guys. You guys know that I do that. But it serves so much for the numerological meaning that and I chose this Magus as the Magus that it comes with 2 Maguses. But I chose this one. Is it Magus or Magi? Not very certain. But beautiful, incredibly detailed artwork. I know that it looks minimal, but it's not one bit. Everything, it's just, there's so much detailing going on in this deck. Sometimes so much so that some of the descriptions of the cards, especially with I'm thinking the Priestess, there was a detail that she mentioned, like the letter G above a threshold in the card. You can barely see it. You can barely see it because it's so tiny, but it is there. But it's such a different feel that this tarot has. And even though it's a lot darker than the original Tot Tarot, this is a Tot reimaging, by the way, guys. It feels so much more in depth, and it feels, it has more crone energy. Oh, maybe this is why I was drawn so much to this tarot deck, because it's a crone vibe, crone energy Tot tarot. And honestly, I've never had that before. I don't think that there's ever going to be another deck like this, to be perfectly honest with you guys. It's just quite unique and impressive. And look at these. Look at this 2 of Wands. Look at the detail. It's just so rich and so minute. It's just incredibly amazing. Ina is an incredible artist. Even though she did write a more thorough guidebook for the majors. I wish that she would have done the same thing for the minors. And so I'm not really sure if she's going to do that, but if she does, I'll probably repurchase the book, because it's fascinating to hear her take on the cards and why she drew the things that she decided to portray in the image. So I'm actually quite curious. If I ever meet her, she's gonna need to make some time, because I'll probably talk with her for hours about the cards. But yeah, this is the Conjunction Tarot. That's my most recent addition to my collection. Oh, I love this. The universe. Oh, it just looks it looks like a macrocosm, a cosmos, and also a microcosmos, all at the same time. I just love this. It's so impressive. So impressive. Inordinately impressive. Well, I mean, it took her 9 years to create, so yeah, it should be. Prompt number 3. Deck that isn't your usual style, but you're vibing with it. This was also very easy for me. It is the Tranquil Night Wisdom Tarot by New Round. Although I don't know why they go by what is it? Star Wheel? I think it's Star Wheel. They also go by that name in the US. But I believe that their original title is New Round. But yeah, this is definitely not my usual style of deck, as you guys are gonna see. I tend not to like this sort of convoluted style of artwork. But this deck in particular, this is the Magician card. Maybe I should bring this forward a little so that we can see the detail better on the card. Let's see, let me bring it up. There we go. As you guys can see, there's a lot going on in every single one of these cards, and the depictions are definitely inspired by children's illustration books, and I was actually very excited when I saw this, because I was, for a very long time, wishing that somebody would do a children's illustration sort of deck that would vibe with me. I know that there are more out there, but this one is unique in the fact that even though I don't like this sort of convoluted feel to the tarot, it totally works for me, and it vibes incredibly well with me. I used this deck for inner child work this year, and it was fantastic. Cannot complain about this deck at all. And the stories from the characters that are tied to the cards were actually quite fascinating, and I love reading it every single time that I got a new card, because I like learning about other cultures, and especially Asian cultures. I do have degrees in Japanese language and culture, so I'm more. Japanese culture is fascinating, but this is not that. This is Chinese culture, but it's just as fascinating. And I mean, I look at the way that the artist has decided to portray the waves in the ocean, and the birds and the clouds. It's such a children, well, maybe infantile in a good way, sort of feel, and it's very colorful, and it's very warm. Even the cooler colors are actually very warm, and I just love it. I suspect that this would be a really good deck to read for others. I am not sure. I haven't used it for such work, but I have a feeling. There's an inkling, and a tingling in me that makes me believe that this tarot, even though this is supposed to be a sort of scary image, it's really not. And I think that people will welcome this tarot quite well. I could be wrong. I just have to, read for another person with this deck, if they will allow me to do that. But very much enjoy this. One of the reasons why I don't like collage decks is because of the convoluted feel that it has. Not that this is a collage deck, because it's not. But you can definitely see that there's a lot of layers to this illustration over here. But yes, one of the reasons why I don't own a collage deck. Actually, I do own a sort of collage deck, but that's for another tag. It's because of the feeling of there's a lot to look at, and there's not one specific thing that I can focus on, or there's no cohesion. That's not my complaint with this deck. This deck seems to be cohesive, even though it does have a lot of things you can look at, and you don't particularly focus in on one thing. You're able to focus on various things at a time. And the other fascinating thing about this deck, it doesn't seem to have a primary focus or a focal point for the image. Your image just goes up and down and around. And that's very rare that I also like something like that, because it's I don't like that sort of distraction, because I do get distracted by that. When I was using this deck, I didn't get distracted by all of the things that I was seeing. It was very, like I said, it was just vibing with me so well. And I think as well was because since I was doing inner child work, it just served itself so well for that too. So can't complain. Can't complain about this tarot deck at all. Inordinately beautiful, colorful. Can't recommend it enough for child work. This is what I will keep doing with this deck. I will continue working on shadow work, and if I do in fact read for others using this deck, I will let you know, guys, how it reads for others. But moving on to the next prompt. Let's see. Dropping stuff, guys. Let's see. Prompt number 4. Favorite card pairing. Okay, remember when I said that I was going to bring the Spirit Keeper Tarot again? This is why. I paired the Spirit Keeper Tarot with the I Ching, and that was the first time that I did that for my practice. I never explored the I Ching before, mostly because I thought that I wasn't going to like it. I thought that it was just going to be confusing, and I was so wrong. Especially because Benebell wrote a fantastic book about the I Ching, and she always writes books that I love because she goes into the history of the book. She goes into the people who were part of developing the I Ching and developing that divination system. She goes over the ritual, and she actually, well, you know what I'm going to say, I'm not really sure if it's true or not, but it seemed that she actually knew that she was doing that when she was creating this deck, because she paired the cards with the trigrams to create hexagrams for the I Ching. So, although I can't confirm that she created this deck in mind with the book that she wrote about the I Ching, I am pretty certain that there was something there ruminating on her mind and working on her mind. But yes, this deck is so rich in symbolism and culture, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, when I read with this deck, I feel a lot more intelligent. And I feel like I am elevating my practice. This deck just added a whole new layer to how I read the cards, and I was incredibly grateful for this. I think the reason why I was so happy working with this deck and I enjoyed it so much, it was because of the deep symbolism and the fact that Benebell gave us every single one of these things here. She explained why it was in the picture, and she explained what that meant for the culture and how it relates to the card. that is exactly why I love her books and her decks. I know that she's working on a new deck right now, and I know that it's not going to be released in probably 4 years from now, guys. But I cannot wait. I am in anticipation. I am in awe with this incredible tarot. I just wish that it was available so that everybody would be able to buy it. And I know that I'm one of the fortunate people who actually has this deck with the book. I consider myself quite fortunate for that. But yes, this favorite pairing, favorite deck that the deck that I enjoyed working with the most was definitely this one as well. But yeah, moving on. I've talked so much about the Spirit Keeper's Tarot now on my channel this year. I'm pretty sure that you guys are just heard enough from it. Let's see. Number 5 is Divination accessories. Well, I actually don't really have a lot of Divination accessories. I don't purchase a lot of things, but I will tell you that I did purchase this mat from the amazing and the wonderful Sia Hunt. And you know that I was going to bring her up, guys. But let me put this camera all the way up so that you guys can see the mat almost in its full form. But as you guys can see, we have the luminaries over here, and we have the festivals over here, and we have the decans in this wheel, and we also have the zodiac. As you guys can see, there's also a better illustration of the zodiacs if we go further along, but I don't think I may be able to do that. Oh, maybe I am. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hopefully nobody's going to... There we go. Let's bring it down again so that I can show you more tarot. Okay. There we go. So I did purchase this mat. Like I said, I don't really purchase a lot of divination accessories, but if Sia makes something, it's more likely that I'm going to buy from her. Okay, prompt number 6. Deck with a great card back. Oh, this was also quite easy because this was the Whimsical Realm of Oddities Tarot by New Round again. I purchased about 2 decks from them this year. But let me show you the backs because they're so good. Usually, guys, I don't like orange for card backs. But this one is so good. Look at that, guys. And it just works so well with the tarot because it's so whimsical and it's so cartoonish, and it's very in essence they're all caricatures, and they seem to be both a satire and a homage to tarot, and I just love that. But yeah, usually I wouldn't like this because of the orangey color, but I do like it. This actually reminds me of a lot of squash, and this is more like a squash color, so it feels like it's poking fun at itself too. So I really like that. But yeah, this is basically an orange sort of deck, and as you guys can see, it's also orange over here. It has this little it looks more yellowish on camera than it does in real life. In real life, it's a lot more coppery and orangey. But let me show you some of the cards here. I have shown this deck in my channel before, but here's the Knight of Cups. But by the way, this is one of my favorite representations of the Knight of Cups ever. So spoiler for my favorite videos, because it's not romantic. There's a sinister, very gory vibe to this Knight of Cups, and I just love it. Love it. It seems like they have deconstructed the Knight of Cups in a way, and I just love that. It's incredible. But yeah, here are some more images. Here's the Judgment card from the deck. Spooky. But as you guys can see, this is a very funny deck. It's a very funny, shadowy, creepy, whimsical odd deck. Oh, I love this Empress. I got a sticker from this Empress, and it's on one of my water bottles. By the way, I should drink something right now because I'm getting thirsty, guys. Getting thirsty. Here's the Great King of Wands, and they're all the whole deck has this really foolish Halloween sort of feel to it. I really enjoy that. We have a kitty for the King of Cups. It's so cute. Makes me chuckle. I love this Eight of Pentacles. Let me see if I can do something about the glare. There we go. The King of Swords reminds me of Frankenstein. Actually, no, it reminds me of the creature, not Frankenstein. There's another card that actually reminds me of Frankenstein, but I'm not really sure if we're gonna see it, guys. But yeah, this deck has a wonderful card back. Here it is again. I just love it. Makes me laugh. Okay, next prompt. Let's see. Shouldn't close this, guys. Prompt number 7. Deck with a theme you like. Well, I could have chosen any deck for this because I don't think I buy decks that I don't like the theme from them. But I chose to show you guys the Verdance Tarot by Stephanie Puimulna. Because I love her art a lot, and I seem to be liking animal and plant decks. Not all of them, but I seem to be vibing very well with them, and this deck is not the exception. I love this Wheel of Fortune, guys, by the way. It's really cool. Well, I mean, Stephanie, so every single piece that she does is beautiful, but and here we have the Wonderful Magician. But yeah, I was a little worried that she wasn't going to be able to create a well, how can I explain this? An equal deck to the Shadowscapes, but I believe that she created an amazing deck. It's not the Shadowscapes Tarot, and they feel like they're cousins, or at least they feel like they're in the same universe. But it is definitely a different vibe. This deck is a lot calmer. It's a lot more centered and focused. It's a lot more did I say calm or did I say soother? But both, actually. It's both. But there is an ethereal sort of feel to the cards as well. And I just very much like this. I think, now that I'm looking at the cards again, I think that the reason why I chose this deck to show you guys is because there's a lot of teal in the deck. I don't think there's one card in the deck that does not have the teal color, and teal is my favorite color. So honestly, I think that the theme that I like from this deck, it's teal. The teal colors. But as you guys can see, it's an amazing deck. It's inordinately beautiful. Stephanie is a wonderful artist, and she does all of this in watercolor. I don't know how. It seems like it's very, very difficult because all of this detailing over here in watercolor is quite difficult, and it's it's a lot of work. One of the reasons why I don't use watercolor is because of that, because it's a lot more work than I want to do. But yeah, isn't it just beautiful? Here we go. The Verdance Tarot by Miss Stephanie Puimulna. Okay, and moving on. Prompt number 9. Deck you wish existed or a unicorn deck that you want. Well, this is no surprise for anybody, but I would like the Yokai Yochi Tarot by buboplague. I'm going to have my husband have some images over here. We have some images of the deck. I want this deck so bad. It's my unicorn deck. It's the deck that I actually want I think I did found it online, well, on a site, but it was so expensive I couldn't possibly justify getting it. But as you guys can see, this deck is based on Japanese yokai, and I am such a fan. Yokai are fascinating beings, and when I saw a full run through of this deck, I was just in awe of not only the art style and how accurate, well, not accurate, but accurate is not, how similar it is to the original art that the yokai are. They first came into print in Japan. Oh god, it's just so cool. I love this deck. I wish I would have it, but as in any case, I don't. So moving on to the next prompt, it says, which card sums up this year as a whole, or a card's energy you want to bring in? Oh, okay. I want to bring a card energy, and here is the beautiful Nine of Pentacles from the Children of Sarah Tarot by the wonderful Sia Hunt, which I already talked about. You know that I'm going to bring her in every single one of the hashtags that I ever do. Sia is probably going to be there. Sia and Benebell. But this is the card that I want to, the energy of the card that I want to bring in is the Nine of Pentacles. I want to have this better sense of security, this better sense of warmth, and this better sense of safety, and especially also related to financial acumen. This is the energy of the card that I want to bring in for next year. It's a wish, it's a hope, it's a manifestation of something that I want for the next year. And here we have Sia has decided to represent the Nine of Pentacles with tulips, and the reason being it's because tulips. Well, there was a tulip mania back in Victorian times, where they basically, tulips were so expensive and everybody wanted them, and there's so much demand, but there was no. Tulips grow when they grow, guys. They couldn't make tulips grow fast enough, apparently, and that was the reason why she chose it as the Nine of Pentacles. But I do like tulips a lot, and I love that we have the star for the Nine of Pentacles here. It just makes me more hopeful. It makes me more wanting, and yeah, this is the energy that I'm bringing in for the next year. Nine of Pentacles energy. Not to mention that it's also the Lord of Gain. In well, one of the names of the card is the Lord of Gain. But yeah, moving on. Let's see. It says Tarot Practice Reflection. Let me take the Children of Astera Tarot while I talk about my tarot practice of the year, so that you guys can see a deck and while I'm talking. Let's see. Okay, and I think I skipped the prompt, guys, and it was prompt number 8, and what's the most beautiful deck this year? And it's actually this one. I chose the Children of Astera. So I apologize for that. Oopsie. But yes, I chose this deck for the most beautiful deck of the year, because not only is this deck vibing with me with the depictions of the plants, I just feel it and I know it in my heart that Sia did so much research, went into these cards and to the depictions, and she chose a correct plant for the cards. It's amazing. But reflecting on my practice, I want to say two things. One, incredibly grateful that I had the opportunity to work with the I Ching, with Spirit Keeper's Tarot, and well, also with all of the other tarot, but especially with the I Ching, because it just made me realize that I can do, or I can perform divination using other systems other than cartomancy, and that not only it's still insightful and not only it's still helpful, it's also quite fun as well. And it just completely broke the don't want to say the monotony of tarot, but it just provided that additional likeness and that additional freshness to my practice, and I'm hopeful that I will bring the I Ching more following next year. I already actually scheduled the Spirit Keepers Tarot for next year, and I will use the I Ching with the tarot, so I know that I'm going to be able to use it. But yeah, so that and the second thing that I wanted to say about my practice this year is that oh my gosh, I love this Eight of Pentacles, favorite Eight of Pentacles that I have ever seen. Well, no, actually, second favorite. Sorry. Can't make up my mind. But this year, I also started work with my inner child once again. It had been years before I worked with my inner child, and my practice needed that. That my little Eddie was just calling out to me, and around the time that I was working with my inner child, it was just basically screaming for me to develop and for me to explore that past and be retrospective and be mindful and learn from my childhood. And I'm also very grateful for that. I was able to do that, and it was quite the experience. I did have to stop for a little while because it was all getting very emotional and very overwhelming. But I will pick it up. I actually picked it up again back in Yule. So I know now that this is a practice that I have to do a little bit more frequently than I usually do, because I already do shadow work, but shadow work is not inner child work, and they're both important. And I can see now the importance of it. Oh, I love this Five Pentacles as well. It's one of my favorite depictions. So yeah, those are things about my practice. But the other thing is that I've had such a fun time working with the new tarot that I acquired, which, by the way, have all have been in this video. They have provided such a rich practice and journaling experience for me this year, so I'm very grateful for all of them. I'm very grateful that I was able to add them into my collection. But the last one, it says, pull a card for the year or a deck you want to use next year. Well, I want to use this deck for next year, that's for sure. This is going into one of my regulars, and obviously I'm going to use it for the season of Ostera. It's the children of Ostera. So this is the one that I will use. But I can pick a card for the year, not necessarily for me, because I have, let me bring the, let's pick a card for a year. Ooh, for my YouTube channel. For eddieinreadingland. It'll be fun to see. Let's see. And people say that they have a hard time shuffling this deck, but I actually don't have a hard time shuffling this deck at all. I know it's because of the rose petal finish, but I don't mind it. And the deck is actually quite small, so it doesn't hinder me at all. Probably also because I have small hands, so. But okay, let's see. Let's pull a card for eddieinreadingland. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, I have the Knight of Wands. Oh, I love this. So fascinating that I got the Knight of Wands, because this is this is the energy or the personality that people most associate with myself. I find this very this person who brings a lot of energy and a lot of humor and a lot of enjoyment to the room. For some reason, people really enjoy being around me, even though I usually don't enjoy being around a lot of people. But if I'm with one person, they seem to like my energy. They seem to like this this sort of energy that I'm sharing with them. And when I do open up, I am the Knight of Cups. I mean, I'm sorry, I am the Knight of Wands. I am never the Knight of Cups. Ever, guys. I will never be the Knight of Cups. But I like that the Knight of Wands is here for my channel next year, because this is who I will do my best to be and keep being. Continuing to be. I can't English anymore, guys. This is a promise that I'm gonna make myself, and it's a promise that I'm gonna make to the channel. I'm going to be the best version of myself that I can be, and bring this fiery energy, this very healthy, fiery, warm energy into the channel, and try to leave my Knight of Swords self in the background when I'm doing these videos, and when I'm sharing my knowledge, and when I'm sharing my tarot with you guys, and when I'm deciding to do hashtags, and I just don't want to lose this sort of. I don't want to lose this channel. I want to keep making videos and content for you guys, because I enjoy it a lot. It's turned out to be a stress reliever and release for me. So it's actually been quite healthy for me. So if and I'm so happy with the subscribers that I have right now, and please, if more subscribers want to be part of this experience, please go ahead. I would love to have you, and I also will do my best to answer messages that I get. I have answered all of them, and I usually answer really quickly to messages when I have them, and I'm always so happy when I get a message from someone, especially if it's a question. I get so excited, and I turn into this fiery, creative, and energy, warmth energy. It just fills me up. It's really cool. So yes, love that I have the Knight of Wands over here. I will continue to do my best to be this person for you guys, and for the channel, and for myself. But there you go, guys. That's the end of year tag by Chanel Days. I'm so grateful that Chanel did this tag, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do for like the wrap up of the year, and I was like, I don't really want to do a wrap up, because I am gonna do a Samhain sort of wrap up. So very grateful for this. Let me know in the comments below if you like any of these decks that I acquired this year, because actually most of these decks I acquired this year. So, and let me, or anything that you would like to comment, I would love to hear. But thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, YouTube. Clap for my husband so that he can level the videos or whatever it is that he does. Oh, I didn't shave. Well, I'm a little scruffy for the video then. But I look really good. Look at me. Ooh. Yep. Maybe you should have those thumbnails. Had a little show for my husband over there. What? Yeah, I had a little show for you. What?